Game Demo!
Hey, that was a short trailer, wasn't it? I'm here with, alright, this is just going to hang out for a second. I'm here with Kim Bala from Sega, and we are about to show you Guardian Heroes HD. Now, this game is 15 years old. Some of you may or may not remember it. It came out in 1996. It came out for the Saturn, so for those of you that didn't actually have a Saturn, you really don't remember this game. But it was really, really cool, and we want to show it to you right now. So we're going to go and... So what you're looking at right now is the actual game, and so what's happened is the game is, sorry, we're doing a couple things back here. So what you're looking at right now is the game without the visual upgrade. So included in the game that is going to come out, which we'll tell you about a little bit later, not the exact date, but the rough idea, is the original game as you see it right now. Now, as far as what we're looking at right now, Ken, why don't you talk to us about what you guys are doing with this game and why you guys had to bring it out?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, this is the first time in 15 years that fans are going to be able to play Guardian Heroes. As some of you may or may not remember, it was one of the really breakout hits of the Saturn. One of the big things about it was that it had multiple branching paths within the game. And as you're seeing here, this is the original Saturn mode. It's going to be included in the game from the start, so it's not an unlockable mode or anything. So if you want to see what it looked like within the Saturn itself, this is it right here. You can definitely take a look at the original sprites. And we're gonna transition now and take a look at the work that Treasure has done. So just to clarify, actually, Treasure is working on this game. So we got the original guys, the original developers. It's sort of a labor of love here to go back, take this game, and re-release it in really stunning HD graphics. So,
all right. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to hop out of the game.
Right.
And we're going to do the switch. And so for folks that don't know, this isn't 100% like a complete redo of the game.
Correct. So we're basically taking the original sprites and modernizing them. As you can see here, these are some of the new renders that we did of the characters. So you'll be able to select between 5 different heroes. And we're going to go ahead and select Randy here and basically take a look. As you see, we're playing the same area again to show you what the up-res look. All these have sort of been redone in high def, and then we've applied different kind of filters on them to smoothen out the graphics, make it really look good. Because, you know, we all know we're all playing on HD widescreen systems, so we definitely wanted to take advantage of that. And as you can see, even the magic spells, all the visuals have been really upgraded for this new generation. And honestly, I kind of want to play this more than I want to play the original because it is a lot more easier on the eyes, and I do have an HD TV. So
yeah, if you guys remember the original, it was even on the Saturn, it was kind of chunky. Treasure loved doing big sprites, and we loved playing them, but man, it was not pretty sometimes.
Right.
So now to fill you in on the stuff, it isn't just getting a visual upgrade. So Ken, do you want to tell us about the new gameplay stuff that you guys are including?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we all remember, it was a 2-player co-op game, and that element is definitely staying in. But we're adding this battle mode that now we can go up to 12 players in a battle arena and sort of like a free-for-all brawl. So that's going to be something new that we're adding. We've also kept and expanded a little bit the RPG elements. As you remember, that was one of the really great things that Guardian Heroes had. You used to be able to complete a level and then upgrade your character. So if Randy here, you were playing this particular character who's a wizard, you liked his spells, you could upgrade the spells themselves, or you could start upgrading his strength and his combat abilities if you've ended up by finding yourself maybe midway through the game that you really prefer that melee type of combat. You could definitely upgrade the character. So, you know, it gives you an idea of how you can sort of alter the characters even though you picked a certain class at the beginning.
And for Rabbit fans at home, if I remember right, that is Randy's pet rabbit that is hanging out with him.
That is correct.
Through the entire game, and it does attack enemies, and there is actually a special attack you can do with the rabbit, I believe, that hurts people. So.
And it is on top of that one of the characters you can choose from in battle and versus mode. So you can play as that ninja bunny.
This is true. So content-wise, there is this battle mode that Ken talked about where you can mess around with friends, and in addition to using the main characters in the game, like the ones that you're seeing here, you can also pick unlockable characters, and there are about 49, maybe almost 50 characters in the game that you could use, and they were totally random.
That's right.
This was not balanced at all, so yes, you could totally use that rabbit and kind of completely take the match if you were good about it.
Absolutely, and you'll be able to play as like different, like a wolf, and some of the different enemies. You'll go to the graveyard here and you'll find like an undead villains as well that you'll be able to play as. So it's really interesting. But I think the one key element that Guardian Heroes had back in the Saturn, and it stands out really well on XBLA, is those multiple pathways. So there are over 30 levels within the game, and depending on what choices you make at different sort of crossroads, you'll, for example, say, I want to go back to town, or no, I'm going to attack the castle, or I'm going to hide in the forest. And that'll lead you to new choices, and eventually you'll come up with one of different endings that really range within scope. So not to spoil it for people who haven't played it, but some endings are a little bit more local. So for example, you'll save the kingdom, while others you're going to go up and battle cosmic deities and sort of have a much more cosmic and universal scope of an ending. So it's really cool, depending on what you choose, is really the kind of adventure that you're going to end up by playing.
Yeah, it's a little funny that we take so much of this stuff for granted now. Multiple paths, leveling up, all that stuff, which at the time for brawlers just wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing in video games either. I mean, this was a really revolutionary kind of gameplay at the time.
You know, and here we have sort of like your buddy, your undead buddy.
Yeah.
Very forward thinking with the use of zombies. You get this undead knight who gets to use this sword, and he becomes a member of like the group that you're traveling with, and you can give him commands in battle. Very simple stuff.
Yeah, it's very simple stuff, and well, you can't play as the knight. As the undead warrior, he definitely does take command, and so you can use him to defend or attack. And so he does become a very, very useful companion. So even if you're only playing it single player, it can feel like you're still playing co-op.
And here we go. This is the RPG element. So you earn these points, and you can dump them into whatever. Exactly.
And depending on your style of gameplay or where you think you're going to need more, whether it's type of health, or you need more strength, or you need more powers for your magic spells, it's really up to you as the player. And the more you play, essentially, the more you'll upgrade your characters.
And I definitely remember each of the characters are pretty different. The lady in red with the green hair that you saw earlier, she's actually an unlockable character that you can get. And what I remember the most is there's a character called Nicole who's the healer of the group, and her healing spell was basically a point on the ground that would heal anything in it. And I found out the hard way that also meant enemies, and I accidentally healed a boss when I was finishing the game. So that's a little pro tip for you guys before it comes out. But all right, we are going to wrap this up because you guys don't want to show us too much more.
Absolutely, and definitely if you guys like what you see, and I know there's a lot of fans out there for Guardian Heroes, we are going to be taking this game to E3, so if you want to take a look at what those branching paths look like, we definitely will have it playable there at the Sega booth.
All right, and so, you know, everybody wants to know, when's it coming out, and what platform?
This is going to be coming out at the end of the summer, around beginning of the fall. And what we're looking at is, at least for the moment, this will be an XBLA exclusive. So definitely look for it there.
All right. Well, thank you, Ken.